Hello, you're watching ERi-TV. Welcome to English News Broadcast. These are the top stories. 11 patients diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today. Village health representatives in Goli subzone striving to control malaria prevalence. The global COVID-19 cases in deaths still continue to rise. And gunmen on motorbikes raid Niger village, killing 14 people. The local news. We have an announcement from the Ministry of Health. 11 patients have been diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today at quarantine centers in the central and northern Eritrea regions. Out of this, 3 patients are from quarantine centers in Asmara Central Region. 8 patients are from quarantine centers in Karora 5 and Mahimet 3, Northern Eritrea region. On the other hand, 47 patients will be receiving medical treatment in hospitals in the Northern Eritrea region, 20, Gashbarka 13, Southern 8, Ansaba 5, and Central 1 regions have fully recovered and are being discharged from these facilities. The total number of recovered patients has accordingly risen to 6,348, while the number of deaths stands at 33. And the total number of confirmed cases in the country to date has increased to 6,517. Minister of Health, Asmaram, July 27, 2021. Mr. Gilay Tesfazgi, head of health facilities in Goli subzone, reported that village health representatives in the subzone are significantly contributing in the effort to control the prevalence of malaria. Mr. Gilay said the village health representatives are playing due part in identifying malaria patients and providing first aid as well as in sending patients to health facilities on time. He also said that as part of effort to expand health service provision to all citizens, the village health representatives have been provided with basic training and are contributing their part in the development of the health sector. Mr. Mikhail Gebrhiwot, head of environmental health and the subzone, said there are 50 village health representatives in the subzone and are playing due part in raising the awareness of the public on health issues and organizing environmental sanitation activities with a view to control the prevalence of communicable diseases. Commending the contribution of village health representatives in the effort to control malaria and other communicable diseases, Mr. Desia Zera Mikhail, administrator of Goli subzone, called on the public to follow the advice being provided by health professionals. Greening campaign program in the central region that includes planting tree seedlings and redressing the environment is continuing with strong participation of the public. According to the Department of Agriculture and Land in the region, members of Taxi Owners Association, government and PFDJ employees, national construction companies, employees of social service provision institutions, and students are participating in the program. The Greening Campaign program is to plant over 1 million tree seedlings as well as construction and renovation of terraces and water diversion schemes. In related news, as part of the Greening Campaign program, students in Maimina subzone are conducting commendable effort in planting tree seedlings and soil and water conservation activities. According to Mr. Usam Haddish, soil and water conservation expert in the subzone, so far the students have constructed 12 kilometers of terraces and 225 cubic meters of water division schemes and renovated 5 kilometers of dirt road that has been difficult for transportation. Now back with international news after a short break. Welcome back. The total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases globally surpassed 195.7 million today, with the deaths still exceeding 4.1 million. And the number of recovered patients has exceeded 177.4 million, this according to World Meters. Officials and scholars from across the world said that tracing the origin of the COVID-19 should aim to enhance global cooperation against the pandemic instead of being compromised by politics. The South African Communist Party released a statement denouncing the attempt to politicize COVID-19 origin tracing. In the statement, the party said virus original source tracing is a scientific undertaking which should be viewed in a scientific-based, objective and fair manner. Concerns about the current in the United States due to the coronavirus is prompting more calls for the unvaccinated to get jabs and has officials reconsidering the path to post-pandemic normalcy. As the U.S. has seen relaxed or eliminated mask mandates and efforts to reopen businesses and travel, the current spike in COVID-19 cases is now resulting in more caution and, in some cases, more restrictions. Armed men on motorbikes have killed at least 14 civilians in an attack western Niger near the restive border with Mali, this according to the government. The attack happened at around 3 p.m. local time when the unidentified assailants arrived at the village of Wiye in Bambigu district, about 50 kilometers from the border with Mali. They targeted civilians, killing 14, including 9 workers in fields, the Interior Ministry said in a statement read on national television. One person who was wounded had been evacuated for treatment in the capital, Niamey. There has been no claims of responsibility so far. Bandibu falls inside what is known as the three-border region between Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, which for years has been the scene of bloody attacks by armed groups linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIS. South and North Korea have restored cross-border communications just over a year since the hotline was cut off, in a surprise move that the two countries said was part of an effort to rebuild trust. The decision was announced in statements by South Korea's presidential Blue House and KCNA, the Northern State media agency. KCNA said all inter-Korean communication channels were reopened at 10 a.m. local time today in line with the agreement between the two countries' two leaders. The Blue House said the restoration of communication lines would have a positive impact on the improvement and development of South-North relations. KCNA also welcomed the positive effect of the decision, which is said represented a big stride in recovering the mutual trust and prompt reconciliation. Authorities in East China evacuated hundreds of thousands of residents as Typhoon Infa second landfall caused mountain torrents and flooding in the area. The sixth typhoon of the year made its second landfall in the coastal areas of Pinggu and Jiangxi in eastern China's Zhejiang province, this according to the National Meteorological Center. East China's Zhejiang and Jinzhou province, as well as Shanghai municipality, have been slammed with heavy downpours, flooding, and strong winds. In Zhejiang, Hanggu City, nearby residents were evacuated to safety after mountain torrents emerged, cutting off access to a number of roads. In Ningbo City, heavy rain brought about by the typhoon caused flooding, inundated more than 110 communities in Ningbo, Haishu district. And now a reminder of the top stories. 11 patients diagnosed positive for COVID-19 tests carried out today. Village health representatives in Goldage striving to control malaria prevalence. The global COVID-19 case and deaths still continue to rise. And gunmen on motorbikes raid Niger village, killing 14 people. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.